All right, we're doing some gun cleaning today. You see, let's see if we can get this in the camera shot here. This is my gun cleaning kit. It's got several steel brass brushes, a couple of cotton brushes. I really like these little kits because it has several different, you can clean several different kinds of guns with this. Just basic stuff. It's a basic kit, nothing fancy. Let's put this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I got 3 guns we're gonna clean today. This is a Springfield 9mm. I really like this gun because it's got the magazine in here is 13 rounds, and then I've got this is actually my concealed carry, and I have 2 other magazines that are 16 rounds, and it's a XD sub compact. So you see, it's not very big. Another one, this is actually an ankle strap. And my other ones is a Bersa 380. I can't remember where Bersa is made, but it's a very small gun. Nice 380. I'll probably like this gun the best out of all the pistols I have, this Springfield 9mm. But this little Bersa is great too. That's a 380. And then I've got a Glock 17 Gen 5, I think, that we're going to also clean. First off, we're going to unload all of these. Anytime we do some gun stuff, there's 4 things. If you remember these 4 things: treat, keep, never, know. We're going to say these one more time. Treat, keep, never, know. Treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Treat, keep, never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy, and know your target and beyond your target. You don't want to shoot a bad guy if there's a whole bunch of kids standing behind the bad guy, right? That's not a good idea. Treat, keep, never, know. Treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Treat, keep, never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy, and know your target and beyond. So we're going to unload this. There's our 13 round magazine. We're going to make for sure that we don't have a magazine in there. There's no bullet in here, so we're going to set this off to the side. Our Bersa, we're going to do the same thing. Drop the mag. Of course, I always keep a round in the chamber. Always. No magazine, no bullet in there. We're going to set this one off to the side. Where's this magazine? Right there. Put that with a 9mm. That one with the Bersa right there. And our big old heavy duty Glock. This sucker here is a beast. I'm gonna drop this magazine. Make sure it's unloaded. No magazine, no bullet in there. There's this magazine and the shell. We're gonna put those right here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to break down this Springfield. Again, it's a 9mm. We know it's unloaded. Of course, we know every weapon is always loaded. So you always, treat every weapon as if it's loaded. But we know for our purpose, we know it's unloaded, but we still want to be careful. We have to pull the trigger on this. So we're going to point it in a safe direction. Pull the trigger. All right, that's good. We're going to lock this back. That slide release needs to go up like that. And that sucker will slide right off. That slide comes right off of there. Here's the main part of your weapon. Here's the slide. We take this spring right here. So that's our 3 major pieces of this gun. So we're gonna clean this gun right now. We're gonna take this bore snake. Where's our 9mm? Let's pull the bore out. Forgot to do that, huh? That one? Nope, not that one. Let's be this one. I think it's this one. Yep. Where is our Pull these off to the side, open these up. Ah, shucks. Where's that little sucker at? There we are. Put this little attachment on here. Oh, we don't want that one. We want this one, I think. Now over here, let's see. We can see. I got two different kinds of gun oil. This is a gun. This is actually a solvent, and you see we're on our kitchen table. We put a towel down here because it's so easy to get things messy. This is a gun solvent. Anytime you shoot a gun, of course, you're gonna have carbon that builds up in your weapon. So we want to get all that stuff out of there. What that does is it breaks that down out of the inside the bore, and then we want one of these. Shoot, I'm missing all my pieces. Let's put all these up here. Now that we've used that gun solvent and broke up the gunk, carbon, and other gunk that's inside the bore, it just kind of breaks that down. Now we just want to take some oil and run it through the bore and kind of clean out all that dead carbon that we kind of just broke up. And the really crazy part is to see just how dirty your gun is. This is always the fun part. Put some oil on there. See how dirty we got. Very interesting. How much dirt we got out of there. Always interesting. Take that one out, get one more. That's a little bit cleaner. Yeah. Much better. All right, so that's clean. We're gonna take the rest of these parts here, put a little bit of solvent on them, on this, and then put a little bit of oil on there also. And we're going to take some solvent and get all the gunk, the carbon off of here, and then put just like 1 or 2 little drops of oil so this slides real good. And that's really it. So we're going to finish this one, and then we'll go to the next pistol. All right, now we're going to work on this Bersa 380, right? The one thing I didn't show you on the Springfield 9mm that we just cleaned, we're finished with that one. I put it back in a holster. I like to take the bullets out, give some relief to that spring a little bit. Plus I want to oil this inside just a little bit. You can see here, this is a small pistol, 3, 6, 7 rounds in a mag, and then one in the chamber. And this little sucker can be very interesting to break down sometimes. Ah, there it goes. That was easy. A lot of times you got to fight that little sucker. So you see the barrel on this one stays on here. There's a slide and there's a spring. That's just these three pieces. So we're going to clean this again, get all that carbon. Anytime you have fire or an explosion, you're going to have carbon. So the first thing you do is use this solvent, get the carbon, break up that carbon, and then take some gun oil and then use the oil to clean the solvent out. And kind of oil it a little bit, not use too much oil. A lot of people like douse their pistols with oil, but all that does is it just attracts dirt and makes your gun dirty quicker. So we're just going to break up the carbon and then oil it, just to lightly oil it. So that's our 380. All right, now we are done with the Bersa. We've got it cleaned up. We're gonna put these bullets back in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huge debate amongst gun owners. Do you keep one in the chamber or not? Of course you keep one in the chamber. So what we did, we just put one in the chamber. That means now there's only 6 in here, not 7, because one of them's in here. So we make that back to 7. And this little Bersa, kind of like this. If you don't forget, it's just going from one pistol to another is kind of weird because your muscle memory kind of gets mucked up. But this right here, you see my finger? Always keep your finger off the trigger. This right here is on safe, and that's on fire. That right there, fire. So that's on safe. So we're done with the 9mm. This one's done. The Bersa 380 is done. We're gonna do the same thing with this Glock. We're gonna take the bullets out of here. Lots of bullets. That's 1 in the chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 in this Glock. There's no magazine, there's no bullet in here, so we know that there's nothing in there. We'll point this in a safe direction, we pull the trigger, and then we take this. This is kind of difficult. It seems difficult, but it's actually very easy. There's 2 little levers on the side. We got to pull those down. We pull this back just a wee tad, and we pull these 2 suckers down, and it releases that. Ta-da! Dun 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 dun. Squeeze that spring out of there. Take the barrel out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces. Again, same thing. We're going to take our solvent, put it especially on the inside stuff, break down that carbon. And once we do that, we'll clean the gunk carbon off, and then put a little bit of oil on all the moving parts. We'll be back. All right, that is it. We are done with the Glock. So we're gonna put this sucker back together. The spring back in there. Oops. Slide. No magazine, no bullet. Same thing with the Glock. I like to take my bullets out and give that spring inside this magazine, give the spring a little rest. What did we just say, 3? Wait a minute, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, it's getting tight, 17. What did I say the big debate is? Carry one in the chamber or no? Nah, we're gonna carry one in the chamber. So I know I don't ever have to worry. All I gotta do is pull the trigger. I have nothing to think about. It's just go, daddy, go. So our Glock 17, let's put this stuff up first. Take that off. Our Springfield 9mm, my favorite. And our Bersa 380. Make sure that sucker's on safe. There's our little ankle, our little ankle holster for this. little dude. Drop the mag. I think most everybody knows that Mrs. Pounds is still in the Philippines. Everything, all the paperwork is at the NVC, the National Visa Center. We had one Philippines federal police check that we forgot to do. We thought it was a local police check, but it was actually a federal police check. But we just did that about 2 weeks ago. So we're waiting for the National Visa Center to pull that up and approve it. And then we are done, good to go. So, I mean, it really should be any day now that we'll be hearing, we should be hearing about her. Shucks. How come I'm not getting this sucker straight? This way. For her to have an interview, and she gets called to have an interview, and then when she gets her interview, that's it. And the interview is just, especially Asia, certainly Southeast Asia. I'm sure some of like south of the border, the U.S., some of Central and South America, the parts of Africa. I'm sure there's such that human trafficking is so prevalent among so many countries that all these females that are leaving Southeast Asia have to go through this interview because they want to make sure everything's cool, nothing weird, nothing crazy. Make sure it's a legitimate marriage. They check all the marriage certificates and all that good stuff, and ID checks and background checks. Again, because human trafficking, prostitution, buying females in Southeast Asia or Asia proper, and then selling them, same, no different than a lot of places in the Middle East. But yeah, that's why for the U.S. and the Philippines, why everything takes so long. But we're almost done with that process. It's been just over, maybe about a year and a half, but we're almost done. With that being said, I'm here in the U.S., she's there in the Philippines. We kind of laugh because we always say this is the telephone is all we have. That's all we have is a telephone. But we try to keep each other occupied. So that's what I'm doing this evening, cleaning my guns just to keep myself something to do. So you'll see a lot of my videos of what I'm doing that day or that week or whatever, just to keep myself occupied. She's doing the same thing. A lot of what she's doing, of course, is shopping, going to the market, and she's riding her bicycle or going to the mall or whatever. But yeah, we're making videos, just filming each other and what we're doing. And it's really gonna, it should be probably days, if not just a few weeks, that we're gonna hear something. And she's gonna have her she's got to get a medical, physical, make sure she's healthy and not bringing any contagious diseases to the U.S. So she gets a physical, which will be fine, and then have an interview, which takes maybe a half an hour, an interview at the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines. And once she does that, everything that I've read and heard, after about 3 days, she's going to have her visa. Once she gets her visa, her spouse visa, that's it. It's all over. We're going online and buy a ticket and plane ticket, and she's flying over here for good. All right, till the next video. Thanks, folks.